I know how this works, so I'm just gonna stop it here. And if you guys want me to go or whatever, all right, that's what it is. But at the end of the day, you are not going to make me you. What's up to all my future plumbing pros? Just a quick shout out. I know jumping into this career can feel overwhelming, but I've got your back. I'm Nate, a licensed journeyman plumber with over 12 years of experience, and I'm here to boost your confidence. Sign up today for your free intro plumbing course through Course Careers using my link in the description below and receive $50 off your enrollment. Let's conquer that learning curve together and kickstart your plumbing journey. With all that being said, back to the video. Yo, and welcome back to Life in Plumbing. It's been a minute. I hope all you guys are good. I hope you guys are out there plumbing, making that money, learning that experience and getting those skills, you know what I'm saying? Or learning those skills and getting that experience. Let's go with that. All right, so man, it's been a minute since I talked to you guys. I've actually joined a union. I moved up north. I've been up here 2 years now. The first year was crazy, hectic. Man, I didn't know what was going on with this transition before I got into the union. I finally did my first year now. I got my C36. Yeah, absolutely. Only problem is there's like a clause when it comes to the union and having your own business. So I'm still working that all out, but nonetheless, I still went and tried to make sure that I'm getting everything I can get out of my plumbing experience. So yeah, man, it feels good, and I'm happy to be back. I'm happy to talk to you guys, tell you what's going on. I did need a little bit of a break so that I can really just transition, not just physically, but mentally in my mind. With my faith, and then with what's going on as far as like the changes in the world, like all this stuff has impacted me on this new venture that I'm on, this second half, being out here and understanding what I want to do with these new certificates. I've got my real estate license as well, so there's so much that I can do, and I'm just trying to figure out how to do it the right way, walking with God. And man, he's slowly but surely, putting everything together. So I can't wait to see how it goes out. I'm just doing what I can do every day, you know what I'm saying? So let's get into it, man. I've got a cool topic I want to talk about. This one has actually been something that I've always thought about year after year. And I think it's, when I got into the union, I didn't know how it was going to be. I was hoping there was a better situation than being a non-union. And I've learned a lot about both sides. But there's one thing that I see repetitive on both sides, you know what I'm saying, that I really wanted to talk about today. So let's talk about it. All right, so let's talk about leadership, all right? Setting the tone. Leaders, this means the people at the top of the food chain, in a sense, right? Leadership sets the tone. What I've learned my first year as a journeyman plumber, all right? All right, so check this out. I've been a journeyman plumber for a while now, and I've worked under all types of leadership. What I've noticed is when everyone has something to prove to themselves, when the team's motivated and there's a healthy push, everything flows. But when things slow down and the higher ups start losing focus, everyone starts falling apart, okay? The same people that were motivating others start getting petty, clocking in late, taking longer breaks, and micromanaging the ones actually doing the work, okay? I got a problem with that. And that's when you start seeing the cracks, not because the crew changed, but because leadership stopped leading, all right? That's powerful, man. Like, I wanted to talk about this for a while, but I just didn't know how to put it in the right words. And I feel like, I was up and doing my, my morning rituals, and I felt like, I started just to type this stuff out and just like, get it all out of my head. And I feel like we worded it and I put it in a way where we can understand this, not as just nitpicking and going after anybody, because that's what I wanted to do, but I'm not going to do that. I don't want to do that. I want to do it in a professional way, because I actually want change. And then I noticed too, a lot of people, sometimes they don't know that they're doing that. They don't know what they're doing. Maybe, people get put in these positions and, and they just think that, hey, I'm powerful, I'm in this position, and, whatever it takes, I'm just going to make it happen, right? And we know what's going to happen when you put people in positions that they're not necessarily ready for, regardless of what they think. And just because you're making money doesn't mean you're successful, okay? So I want people to understand this. For people who have a C36, who are getting to start their career, or their business, their own business in plumbing, this is just good to hear. This is just good to keep in the back of your head, because if you really want to be successful, this is a major, this could be a major downfall if you don't understand it, right? So, and I've seen it time after time, all right? So me personally, I feel like making money is not the goal, right? Because you're going to make money, right? But why not in the process make better people, make people who can stand, you know what I'm saying? And what I mean is make people who are leaders, make other people leaders, you know what I'm saying? I feel like there's always gatekeepers, people trying to, keep people out because they're afraid of losing their positions because of real leaders. People know when you see a real leader, you know what that looks like. And if you're not, and you're in a higher position than them, guaranteed they're going to try whatever they can to keep you down. And this is why I'm bringing awareness to this, because I really want change. I really want, even myself, man, just been denied opportunities just because, right? And I've asked for them, and I'm seeing people for no reason at all blocking me from getting to where I want to get to, which it's not going to last long, because obviously I run with God and I already know He's the one who promotes and demotes. So there's something I got to learn before I get there, and that's what I'm doing. But in the meantime, I do want to bring awareness to this, right? So check this out. On every project, there's a structure. Apprentices are under journeyman. Journeymen are under foreman. Foremen are under general foreman, all right? This is how the union goes. You don't have a general foreman and non-union most of the time. I've never seen it. So I'm just speaking from where I am now. When the general foreman sets the right tone, shows up, stays fair, works hard, the rest of the ladder follows, okay? It makes sense. But when that top level slacks off or starts showing favoritism, that same attitude drips down, okay? I've seen it all the time. Suddenly, you've got journeymen frustrated, apprentices confused, and foremen caught in the middle trying to hold it all together. I see this every day in real time. The lower ranks start carrying extra load while the higher ranks justify their pay with control instead of contribution. This is like this, and people really believe yelling and oh, I'm telling this person what to do, so you need me here to tell this person what to do. That's just how a lot of these foremen or people who are above believe that, try to convince the owners of companies that they are necessary. You know what I'm saying? Like they basically like you're kids and you can't control yourself. You can't handle your own jobs. Like me personally, I know I can. I've done it before. I've been very responsible. If I'm putting on a job in a situation, I always try to do the job well. Never try to take shortcuts. I always try to do the best that I can, because at the end of the day, you know what I'm saying? It's about how you're gonna feel about yourself. If you can knock this out and get it done, man, it's gonna make you feel powerful. It's gonna make you feel like you can just take on the world. So why wouldn't you? But people are not giving us opportunities because of that situation right there. And we'll talk about it. But what they don't realize is the example they are setting. Everyone beneath them sees the inconsistencies and the double standards. We all talk about it all the time. We like, man, this is some bull, but what do, right? And sometimes there's just nothing you can do. There's no one you can talk to, because the people you want to talk to are mainly the people that are doing it. So it's hard to be like, hey man, I just want to tell you about you. It's like, you know what I mean? Like, how's that going to go? So I had a conversation and I just kind of went around the issue hoping he understood. And I could just see like some people don't want to see. They know, you know what I'm saying? And it just sucks. Like there's no one else to talk to, but it is what it is, right? That's how it goes. We got to figure out other ways. There's always ways. We just got to put our minds to it. And without God, I feel like this would be very impossible, right? And I'm doing this because of my talks with God. I'm like, all right, I'm going to do this video. You can't lead people while excusing yourself from the same standards you demand of them. I have a big problem with that. I hate, like, for me, And I'm not bragging about none of this. I'm just saying I can't be talking to you guys telling you something that I'm not doing. All right. So I hold myself to a high standard. And I've done it since I was an apprentice. Right. My first thing that I've ever done was always learn to show up on time. I'm always on time. I've never been late to my jobs. When I started, when I moved out here and I did service, I was late like a lot, right? Because I wasn't used to starting after like 8 o'clock. I usually start at like 6 a.m. I've been doing it since 2013, right? So when I came out here for that year, I'm like, why am I always late? And I realized I was like, man, traffic is different during the day. You know what I'm saying? It's easy to kind of calculate it when you're getting up before anybody is up, right? So I'm always on time. So when it came to construction and what I do is like, that's when I'm like always on time. I've never been late. So I'm not gonna say I've never been late in my life, but when it came to where I am now and what I've been doing since 2013 and what I'm doing now, never been late. I've always been on time. I barely call off. Like, I'm there to get the job done, and I do this so that I have an opportunity to make for myself to get higher up, to show them that I'm responsible, that I care about the job as much as they do, right? And I love caring about jobs because it gives me something to look forward to. It gives me something to strive for. And when you're just sitting there and you're just working and you're just like, I'm just trying to get 8 hours in. That is so depressing. Like, you know what I mean? There's people who like doing that. Let them be what they want to be. But for people who want to excel, like, don't block them. You know what I'm saying? Because those are the people you're going to need. Those are the people who's going to set the foundation, the tone, that really want to be there, that can handle showing up every single day and performing. People can't do that. That's why we praise like all these celebrities and stuff. These people come and they bring their A game every single time. Why can't we do that? That's my mindset. So I know not everybody has that, which is why I'm bringing this awareness up. All right. So I've learned it's no different than at home. Okay. So like I said, I was talking to God. I'm like, what's going on with all this, right? And I was like, as a husband and a father, I'm the head of my household, right? The same way a foreman sets the tone for a job, I set the tone for my family. And I have not been doing that well. Like, I show up to my job, I'm trying to get promoted there, but at home, like, what am I looking for to get promoted to? And I feel like I didn't realize that I was slacking on a lot of things. But as I started to dig deep into this situation, I started to realize my own situation. And I feel like, everything starts from the house. So if you can do it from the house, then you can definitely do it out here. You know what I'm saying? One thing always has to do with another. How you're doing something here is how it's going to reflect out there. And I've always seen that. And I'm just talking to God and chopping it up with him. And I'm like, okay, I see that. So I'm like, when I'm disciplined, my kids learn discipline. When I'm disciplined, when I show up, when I do what I'm supposed to do, my kids see that. I don't have to tell them that. We try to tell people, right? We on the job. Hey man, do this, and this, and you're not that person. It's like, you would really expect people to answer to that, and some people do, you know what I'm saying? Because, they're just like, oh, I'm gonna follow the rules, but it won't last for long. Because once they see you this, and that, people are gonna wanna leave, right? When I'm lazy, they pick that up too. My kids are looking at me like, they watching me, you know what I'm saying? And they want to be just like me. My kids look up to me, just like I'm sure a lot of y'all kids look up to you. You got to be an example for them. I never realized the extent of how my kids see me. And as I am on this job and I'm looking at this in the same sense, I'm like, man, like, okay, I have a responsibility, whether I like it or not. And that's the hard part, right? So even if I never say a word, right, they're going to just copy what I do. Same thing on the field. You got new apprentices coming in. I always look out for my apprentices. So they coming in and they want to be like, you know what I'm saying? The foreman's up there. So they mimicking them. And I see this all the time. And this is something I never wanted to do. This is why I started this channel, because I was like, I'm not about to step up in here and be like, yo, I don't even like the way y'all do things. You know what I'm saying? I don't like the way this is going. We're going to keep this going. Somebody has to say something, or somebody has to speak up. And I know it feels like it's nothing when it's one person, but I mean, I'm gonna give it that try. But I see apprentices come in and I'm like, damn, he gonna act just like this dude, you know what I'm saying? And what's that gonna do? Now he's gonna be beating down on his apprentices, right? I walk onto the job, I hear a foreman calling the apprentices idiots and dummies. And he's like, hey, that's how I was raised. That's how I was brought up in this. And I'm like, bro, like, so somebody called you a name, you're gonna call them that? Did you like it when they called you that? Did that make you feel like it was going to empower you to do something. No, it broke you down and it made you just as bad as him. You know what I'm saying? Just probably as depressed as him, because if anybody is bringing somebody down, it's like that person got issues. You know what I'm saying? And they want everybody else to share in that. You know, misery loves company. That's how I feel, and that's how I see that. So I hate when people disrespect people who want to learn, people who are there, that just give me an assignment and I'm on it. Why would you disrespect them? You know what I'm saying? To make yourself feel important because you following the people before you, right? So, and I get it. They look tough. They sound tough, but they're the weakest ones out there. You know what I'm saying? As soon as something happens, they're quick to blame everybody else. And this is what I see, but they're following these dudes like they tough because they look the part, they sound the part, but outside they hard shell, inside marshmallow. You know what I'm saying? So I see that a lot, man. My emotions, my attitude, my spiritual walk, they don't stay with me. They pour down into my wife and my kids, all right? So if I'm going through something, my emotions, I've noticed that if I'm having a bad day at work, sometimes I'll come home and I'm trying to be cool, but you know, I'm affected by work, and then my wife will say something, my kids will do something, and I'm just like, you know, spazzing out on everybody, you know what I'm saying? All that stuff pours down. What I did learn though, and I love this, and I just recognized this while I was on these jobs, and I'm like, all right, a GF, a general foreman, is going to get yelled at by, you know, the person who's in charge of project managers, and the GF's going to be like, well, it's my guys. You know what I mean? If he's one of those guys, which most of them are, he's going to be like, oh, they're messing up. Okay, let me go and check them. Oh, I got in trouble, so I'm going to come and beat down on you guys, right? I stopped. Well, I don't think I even did that. I've always been a person was like pushing back, right? And not to start problems or anything, but I understood this from that aspect, that that's not going to help. I need him to do the job. If I'm beating down on him, he's going to be drained. I need him to work. So I automatically was like, all right, look, this is what they're telling me, but don't even worry about it. Keep doing your thing. Not that it's okay if he's messing up or whatever, but at the same time, I understand how this all works. You know what I'm saying? This is real life. You beat somebody down, you expect them to be happy about it. Like, I want them to be happy to do the job so that we can get through the day. You know what I'm saying? I still want to laugh and get through the day because this is no joke. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes as we have hard days, why make it even harder? So I stopped allowing that to trickle down, at least past where I can, you know, protect whoever I'm working with, right? Which is an apprentice. And I'm like, look, all right, cool, yeah. And I'll go ahead and I'll talk to them. And you know what I mean? And I'll take those hits. And I start realizing, I was like, so that's how it goes. Like, you guys aren't willing to take the hits. You guys are saying like you guys are men out here, this and that, but you're not willing to take the hits. Like, the higher it gets, you get this responsibility. You want this position, you want more money, but you're not willing to take what comes with it. And you know what I'm saying? And it just kills me. We're gonna talk more about it, so I'm not gonna get too far into it, but y'all see where I'm going with this. If I get frustrated or start cutting corners, that spirit of frustration enters the home too, all right? So if they start cutting corners at the job, we gonna start cutting corners too. And I've seen it all the time, bro. Like, I watch people pull up. Like, if you 5 minutes late, you were late. So you can't tell me, oh, I just stopped here and then. No, you were 5 minutes. If you're 5 minutes late, you could have been here. You know what I'm saying? You could have left 5 minutes early and been there. But I noticed from other companies that GS were there and foremen were there on time every day with us. They were involved in the we do stretch and flex, and we start our morning that way. You know what I'm saying? And they're always there with us, but when they're not, you know what I'm saying? You start realizing like, okay, you guys were here in the beginning, and then now, you know what I mean? You're starting to slack off a little bit. We can see that, you know what I'm saying? I don't care what you tell us, you know what I mean? Like, we can see that. And I'm watching, I'm just like, you know, and it sucks. It does, like, man, it's like, and then I think the worst part is when they blame us for stuff that's going on when we know it's like, it could have been preventable. Like, you guys don't have to bring a lot of that stuff to us. We're doing what we have to do. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, that's what I see. Leadership isn't just about giving orders. I love this. It's about being the example. Understand why you are in that position. You're not in that position to make money. You're not in that position, not just to make money. Of course you want to make money, but at the same time, you know what I'm saying? That comes with a responsibility, and we don't we don't hold people accountable. I guess people above them, the owners of companies. So if I have a company, this is stuff that I think about. What kind of man am I gonna have leading? Because I want him to lead the same way I would lead. Don't think I gave you a position so that you can just go and hold your head up high and walk on everybody. I'm giving positions because I feel like you're gonna build up powerful people. You know what I'm saying? If you want more out of life, if you want, you're trying to get as high as you can in the company and you can only get so far and you're just trying to keep your spot, run your own company. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, don't mess up for anybody else. Maybe, once you're teaching everybody up, it's time for you to do your own thing. Keep going higher and higher and pushing yourself, because if you don't, you're gonna come into that stagnant situation where now you're just gonna start being petty. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, I believe life pushes us to be the best that we can be, and not to sit here and just be comfortable. You know what I'm saying? What's the word I'm looking for when you're just sitting there? You know what I'm saying? Like still, like what happens with water when it doesn't move? It gets all this bacteria and stuff starts building up, all that crap on top of it, mold and all that, whatever it is, right? Algae. That stuff builds on it because it's sitting water, it's sitting still. So the same way I think about my life, if I'm not moving, then I'm not being productive. I'm not actually growing. You know what I'm saying? And then everything is working in reverse. You know what I'm saying? It's working against me and not for me at this point, which I see at the job. This is what this is about. The Bible says, I got to bring the Bible up in it. When the righteous are in authority, when the righteous people, the people doing their thing, are in authority, the people rejoice, praising them. I've been there. I was like, man, y'all doing y'all thing. I love working here. It's great. It's fantastic. I love it. But when the wicked rule, people just be messing up, doing what they want to do, not showing up. The people mourn. This is Proverbs 29:2. They mourn, right? Because, you know what I mean? And people be acting like they don't see this. When you come out here and you see like, oh man, this person is leaving. Oh, everybody wants to leave. Everybody wants to go. That's what they saying. And it's like, well, why is that? Why everybody want to leave? Like everybody came to work. I mean, they quick to work somewhere else, but why is that? We don't ask the right questions, you know what I'm saying? Because some people don't want to know the answer to that. They know it, they just don't want to hear it, right? So I'm gonna read that again. When the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. But when the wicked rule, the people mourn. If you see situations where people aren't happy at the job, it's because of the higher ups. It's because of the tone that they're setting. You know what I'm saying? That's trickling down. They just want to be cool. They want to get what they want. They don't care about everybody else. Just be happy you got a job. Like, just be happy you got a job, right? Like, and so we can all be happy and just do your part. You know what I'm saying? But it's not like that. It's not like that, man. Got to bring awareness. That means when leadership is solid, the people under them thrive. Love that word, thriving. That's what we're supposed to do, thrive. When leadership is selfish, everything under them suffers. Believe me, it feels like suffering. You're just like, it's unbearable. It's like, why? I don't even want to be here. Now I'm unmotivated. I'm a person who likes to get out there and get it. Don't even want it no more. It's hard, man. It's super hard to work underneath those conditions. And I feel like it's unfair and it's just stupid for, if I was an owner, and I can be, right? For me not to worry about, you know what I'm saying, the least of us. You know what I'm saying? The people coming in, those are the ones most motivated. That would be I wouldn't even worry about the foreman, journeyman, all them. I'd be worried about the apprentices. Hey, you guys good? You guys having a good, because those are the next generation coming up. You know what I'm saying? That's, if I was a owner, I'm coming out, all right, I see y'all, but I need to talk to these apprentices. How's everything going out here? How y'all feeling? You know what I mean? So I can know what's happening up here. I don't know why we talk to the person highest up, right underneath, on the job, and expecting them to be, everything's great. Yeah, for them. You know what I'm saying? But why are people leaving? Why aren't people showing up? Why, you know what I'm saying? What kind of example are you setting? This is not the conversations they have. You know what I'm saying? The problem everywhere. What I'm seeing isn't just a plumbing issue. It's a human issue. Most people in higher positions don't realize they're setting the emotional temperature for the people beneath them. They think nobody notices when they come late or take shortcuts, but they're wrong. The crew notices. I notice. The same way a child notices when their dad's attitude changes, your workers notice when your leadership shifts. Whoo, deep. You can't hide spirit. The culture you carry leaks into the people around you. Absolutely. Absolutely, man. I've been married, don't even know how long, but since 2015. But it's been a long time, over 10 years. And man, me and my wife just been, we've had our tough times, but man, we've been kicking it. We've been cool because we have a solid foundation though with God that's been our anchor. You know what I'm saying? So, if we don't know what's going on with our relationship, we found the answer pretty much in there. It's not a perfect situation, but by any means, but it's cool compared to what I see other people go through. It's like, whoo, this is crazy. You know what I'm saying? What's your anchor, man? What's your anchor? How you living? Like, are you checking yourself? You know what I mean? And by me looking these things up and looking at other situations and learning from them has helped my home. You know what I'm saying? So I know in reverse, it can do the same thing. If I can do this at home, we can make this happen here. If I can have a happy home, I can have a happy job. You know what I'm saying? So why aren't we having that? This is a discussion we having. You can't hide spirit, okay? The culture you carry leaks into the people around you. And when leaders start chasing image or trying to justify their position, instead of serving their team, that's when team loses respect, drive, and unity, all right? We wanna have all of that at the job, okay? Because no matter what, like, it's crazy because I've done so much at this company, so much at this job. I've done a lot of work and I'll have like 1 or 2 leaks. I'll make mistakes, right? Nothing crazy, nothing that we can't come back from in like a couple hours. And they make this big thing about it. And I remember when we were most busy, when we were most like everybody was trying to impress someone higher than us, everybody on the team. When we did make a mistake, all right, cool, just fix it and let's keep going, right? And it wasn't until things slowed down that it got really petty. All of a sudden was, oh, you guys don't know how to do this? Do we have to teach your guys how to do this? It's like, out of 100 fittings, we got one. We probably just rushed and did it, or you know what I mean? Or just something happened and it probably take 15 minutes to fix, but we're gonna drive a knife in the person because, you know what I mean? Because something over 15 minutes, like, I just don't understand that. You know what I'm saying? That's when I know people get bored. That's when I know people are bored, when you start doing petty stuff. And it just makes a situation harder than what it has to be. And not only are you gonna be down on us, and is it gonna be like, hard on us and tough on us, it's still gonna be hard on you because now our drive, the respect we have for you, the unity, everything is gone. So it's now production is even less, which you need production to make yourself look good. So you're actually messing up yourself. You know what I'm saying? And it just doesn't make sense to me why people would do that. The responsibility of the one who sees it. I realize I can't control the people above me. I can't set the tone, but I can set the tone in my lane in which I tried to do when I say, okay, it'll trickle down, but I won't let it, if I have anything to do with it, I won't let it affect the apprentices to the point where they're just like beat down. I'll be like, all right, look, it did happen. You need to learn from it. And I'll make a joke like, okay, maybe we'll get you some classes. I'll always, make somebody laugh so that spirits are high again, because at the end of the day, the work still has to get done. It doesn't matter. It does not matter, but it is what it is. I can lead my apprentices right, show them work ethic, fairness, and humility, even when leadership above me doesn't. That's what I tried to do, and it weighs on me. It does weigh on me. It's tough, but that's what we're called to do. You know what I'm saying? And not just in our jobs, but at our homes. Not just in our homes, but out in the world too. You know what I'm saying? Because especially as a believer, as a leader, like, negativity is like, they got a whole team of people who like to be negative. And it's usually like 1 or 2 people or one person for the most part, right? That's trying to like, hey man, something ain't right. Like, let's switch this up. And that person has to go against the whole squad, because it's like, you know what I mean? They believe that it could be better. They've seen it. They've read, they know, you know what I'm saying? That's how I feel. And, I feel like we have that responsibility. And if you see something, something is wrong and you don't speak up, man, that says a lot about you. You know what I'm saying? So as a man, as a woman, whatever, you know what I'm saying? It just, we should be trying to do the best that we can do, not just for us, but if we do that, it's going to benefit other people as well. Like, I don't want to just be the only one cool. Like, if we all doing it, having fun, man, I know what it feels like when we all just on our stuff, everybody feeling good about themselves. It's a great place to be. It's a great time to be in, you know? But that's why real leadership looks like influence, not position. People want to, you know, like I said, people want to claim that position and make themselves look tough, but really it's, you know, marshmallow people inside. It's influence. You influence people by what? Not beating down on them. You influence them by just being yourself, doing the right thing. People are like, man, I respect that. He's getting things done. If you respect it by, you know, the owners of these companies, you know, your company is going to, or I'm going to say owner of the company, but the owner of the establishments that we are building, because then they're going to show love to the owners of the companies, and the owners of the companies are going to show love, and it trickles down like that, right? Because you're doing your job, and that's what it's all about. So when you see that, you're like, man, that's cool, man. I want to be that guy, like really putting in that work. That guy's real. I love when I see somebody that's really about that. You know what I'm saying? And when you see somebody who's talking all this stuff but can't even show up, it's like, bro, like killing me. You know what I'm saying? I always say like, and more times than not, it's always the sheep leading the wolves. And if a sheep leads a pack of wolves, what does that look like compared to a wolf leading a pack of sheep? You know what I'm saying? That's not mine. I got that from Miles Monroe. Shout out Miles Monroe. You know what I mean? The late great. But yeah, I love that. I love that because that's what it is. You know what I'm saying? Also heard another quote in a movie. It was called Paid in Full, right? So one of the scenes in there, Cameron was like, you know, people want to be the man just cause. He didn't say people, but want to be the man just cause, right? Just because it sounds cool, just because it looks cool, but they don't really want what comes with that. You know what I'm saying? And it took me a while to understand what he was saying because I was young back then. And I'm like, man, that is so profound. Like, if you really think about that, want to be the man just cause. Like, okay, you want to be a boss, but you don't want to do boss stuff. You don't want to take boss hits. Like, then why would you even do it? You know what I'm saying? It's like people like all that fake love. People like all that just being fake. I can't do it. You know what I'm saying? And I want to earn my position. I want to feel good about myself. I want to know that I can stand on that I have integrity, that I have discipline, that I'm willing to put myself out there to, you know what I mean, help other people. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what it's supposed to be about. I always, first thing apprentices should learn, own up to your mistakes. You make a mistake, man, of course they're gonna drill you for it, but at the end of the day, be a man about yours, be a woman about yours, and just be like, all right, I made the mistake, I'm gonna move on. I learned from it. People learn from mistakes. You learn from mistakes. I made so many mistakes still to this day, but in my whole career, like, that I'm always looking back on, like, man, if I never made this mistake back then, I wouldn't have learned what I've known to get this done even quicker now. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes we're in those crunches. And because I have all that experience and I've done so much and made a lot of mistakes, that now I can just, you know what I'm saying, at the point where I can be like, look at something and just fix it right away. So you want mistakes, you want to learn, because if you don't, you're only going to know one way to do it. When you make mistakes, you find all kind of ways to fix stuff, man. You just like, I don't want, you know what I mean? Ain't nobody about to yell at me for this. I got to figure this out. And your brain starts focusing, narrowing in, and you start thinking of these ideas. That's what it's like when you're under the pressure. That's what it was like when we first began this project and everybody was focused on trying to impress them so we can get more opportunities, so we can get more jobs. You feel me? That's what it looks like. People are focused. We're not worried about petty stuff. And that's why I realize it when we're not focused. You know what I'm saying? The Bible says, whatever you do, work heartily as for the Lord and not for men. This is one thing that was very hard for me, but changed my life. You know what I'm saying? It's like, at the end of the day, who cares what they say? You know what I'm saying? This, especially for apprentices. People are going to try to beat you guys down. Work heartily for the Lord. I know none of us ain't, you know what I mean, religious or whatever, but find something to believe in. If this helps you, it helps you. If not, then I'm pretty sure somebody said it another way. Probably got it from this, but that you'll understand. So you can go ahead and do that. But at the end of the day, find something to stand on so that you know that you are worthy, that you can do anything, that you're not dumb, you're not stupid. You know what I'm saying? Don't allow people to come and bring you down. Like, you know, be who you want to be. Come in this game, but earn it. You know what I'm saying? Don't just be, you know what I'm saying, somebody who's talking the talk and ain't walking the walk. You know what I mean? Because that's gonna hurt you in the long run. It's gonna hurt your feelings in the long run when somebody exposes that. That means I don't need permission from the top to lead by example. Like for me, that's how I feel. Like I know how this works, so I'm just gonna stop it here. And if you guys want me to go or whatever, all right, that's what it is. But at the end of the day, you are not going to make me you. So I'm not gonna beat down on my apprentices. I'm not gonna beat down on anybody who's under me. If I'm a foreman at this position, I'm not gonna beat down on my journeyman. You know what I'm saying? I need them to work for me. I need them to trust me. I need them to know that I got their backs. You know what I'm saying? And vice versa. You know what I mean? And that's just how this all should work. And that's the way it's supposed to work. But once again, I don't understand. God measures leadership by character, not title. All right? So when you I had to learn to look at the world differently. You know, God says walk on the spirit, and this is what this means, is he looks at your character, man. Look at this dude standing up for people, doing his thing, man. Look at that person, all happy. Could have been sad, but he's happy now because, you know, he took the hits because of his character to avoid somebody who probably couldn't take that hit. You know what I'm saying? And probably would have left plumbing or try to do something else, felt like they couldn't do it. Because of that person's character, that person is about to go on and be probably the next foreman and great at it because of what he just saw or witnessed. You know what I'm saying? Title, that's worldly, okay? Worldly, something that you can see. Oh, he's a foreman. Like we do everything off of what we see. It's very hard, and I'm not perfect at that. Like honestly, like when it comes to like knowing it in the spirit, I know what I'm supposed to do, but sometimes we want that recognition. Sometimes we wish it was just clear to see, and that's just not the way it works. And I just have to like accept that. You know, a lot of things we just have to accept for us to move on and move forward. You know what I'm saying? So just keep that in mind. I hope that resonated with somebody because that's deep. So even if the ones above me lose focus, I refuse to let their lack of integrity dictate mine. That's all I'm gonna say about that. I show up, I put in the work, and I treat people right because the tone I set matters just as much to the crew as it does to my own kids at home. That's exactly another reason. So if I can do it here, I can protect my family at home. If I'm not protecting myself here and doing what I'm supposed to do, then now they're coming back on them. And when I see it that way, you're not messing with my home. You know what I'm saying? So I'm going to stand up for this no matter what, because at the end of the day, I want to be this person to everyone, especially my family, especially my kids who are watching me. I want them to stand up for what they believe in is right as well. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is, man. But I'm not gonna go too much into that. You guys already know what it is. I'm pretty sure y'all understand where I'm coming from with this. I'm very passionate about this subject. Leadership isn't about power. It's about responsibility. And oh man, that sounds like some Spider-Man stuff. It is what it is. I don't care what it sounds like. It is what it is. It's definitely about responsibility. The higher you get up there, the more responsibility you are going to have to take on. All right. As a father of my house, I've got to make sure that I'm setting the right tone. I've got to make sure I always ask my kids, y'all cool, everything great? Like, y'all, hey, anything I can change? Me and mommy, anything y'all want us to change? You know what I'm saying? Or anything y'all got issues with? And I just talk to them and they'll be like, nah, we cool. I'm like, that's cool, man. You know, I could imagine my parents asked me that, you know what I'm saying? There is a list of that, you know what I mean? But I've learned from them not, you know, educating themselves and learning how to do things different and just accepting what life throws at them and being mad about it instead of trying to figure things out. And because I believe life doesn't have to be that way, that they do that, you know what I'm saying? So I feel like that I need to do that, you know what I mean? Like I need to not have my kids feel like I feel, not have my kids raised the way I was raised in the sense of just not knowing, you know, all this stuff. I never knew this stuff. This stuff is powerful. Whether you use it for plumbing, you can use it for anything. You know what I'm saying? This is just something that you keep in the back pocket. This is spiritual. This ain't nothing. I'm not giving y'all money, but this is gold right here. You know what I'm saying? And that's how I see it. It's not about how many people you can command. It's about how many people you can lift. That's what it's all about. If we can change our mindsets, man, we can really make a difference. Like this little false sense of making a difference is it's just pathetic, dog. But whether you're a general foreman or journeyman or a father, you're shaping someone by the way you carry yourself. the tone you set today becomes the culture you live in tomorrow. I want my kids to grow up in a better place. Absolutely. So even if the higher ups don't get it, be the one who does. Because when the head leads right, the whole body follows. I love that. When the head leads right, the whole body follows. All right? The head of the household, the head of the project, whatever it is, set the tone. So y'all be some tone setters out there, man. Y'all make sure to protect people. You know what I'm saying? Be better than that. You know what I'm saying? Like, nobody cares about you until they find out how much you care about other people. So realize that, man. Like, you know, have something. If you don't do anything, you know, do that. Because I'm telling you, it's going to change your heart. And you're going to feel like, man, I feel better than I would have felt if I was trying to do something for myself. I mean, that's just how I feel, right? All right, so check this out. You've seen the same thing at your job or at your home. Drop a comment if you relate to this. If you were on the job and you see similar things and you want change on your job, drop a comment below, all right? Also share this video with someone in leadership or just anybody, a father, you know, mother, anybody who's out there that just needs to learn, you know, to understand this. You know what I'm saying? If it resonated with you, I'm sure it'll resonate with them. Your example matters more than your position. You know what I mean? Let them know. Let them know, man. Thank you guys for listening. Thank you guys for supporting, man. We got like almost 2,000 subscribers, man. Thanks to y'all. Y'all been, you know what I mean? And that's why I didn't want to give up on y'all, man. Like, I had to take a break, so apologize if people were like, man, he ain't putting no more videos up. Like, I really had to figure out where I was in life. I had to become a leader. God sometimes will stop me and be like, hey, man, I need you to figure some stuff out. I don't realize that, so I'm going through it, but that's what I was doing. Man, I got my my music ministry. I'm not gonna say music ministry. I'm gonna say I got my music channel, man. Y'all go check that out, man. I always try to encourage people, not just on life and plumbing, but through music too. That was always my first passion. For y'all know, I was in a group back in the day when I was growing up. I love music. I just love to give the game to people. You know what I'm saying? The stuff that I'm learning that changed my life, I want to give it to you guys too. And I talk about a lot about this stuff in my songs. So make sure y'all check out in the description below the Highboard Soldiers channel. And all the music is streaming. Check it out. Leave me a comment. Let me know what y'all think about the songs. You know what I mean? Also, to check out Course Careers. I know y'all seen the ad. If y'all looking just to get your game up, to see what plumbing's all about, you know what I'm saying? You want to get a head start on your apprenticeship or whatever you're about to jump into, so you can understand a little bit what's going on. I recommend. I know it talks a lot about like residential opposed to like commercial, but man, like all that stuff is going to be needed. All right, so a lot of commercial plumbers can't do residential. They don't troubleshoot. They just new construction, throw it in, get it done. And then, you know, that's when you have those repair services come in and repair, right? But if you know best of both worlds, the more you know coming in this game, the more people are going to see you as valuable. So it's always good to, like, you know what I'm saying, put your best foot forward, all right? But yeah, man, thank you guys for watching, and I'm going to see you guys in the next one, all right?
Me and my God always conversating. He say I'm happy you call, what you been up to lately. I said the reason I call is I'm at war with Satan, and I'ma need your help to get through this. Lord, please eradicate